You're related to him? I'm gonna have to look now. Let us learn together. Please meet Ben F. Jones, the father of Highway 101, the highway that's on the Oregon coast. Not only is he the father of Highway 101, otherwise known as Oregon's Coast Highway, he also had this beautiful bridge dedicated to him. There were a couple of reasons that Ben Jones delegated to start this highway. It actually says here in 1892 that he led a delegation to Corvallis to seek money for the road improvements from the county. And he was actually questioned by the county about, quote, why do a bunch of clam diggers need a road? He said that with the cooperation of the clam diggers, we're going to create a new county, and Lincoln County was actually born from this. This ended up being quite successful for him later on because as World War I approached, Oregon's coast was actually deemed among the weakest links in our national defense here on the west coast of the United States. And so funding was granted finally in 1919. It took some time, but construction of this highway began. As you see here, by 1931, the Roosevelt Military Highway was along the entire length of the Oregon coast, but it wasn't until 1937 that all of the coastal bridges were also completed. Today, again, the road's called US Highway 101. If you've ever visited the West Coast or Oregon, you've definitely traveled along it. I have been on that roadway once, just veering to the left a bit. And it's quite a beautiful scenic drive. Absolutely beautiful. Here's a map just to give you an example of how far this highway stretches and where it touches down at. I mean, absolutely on the coastline. Fun facts before we end. He actually was a mailman at one point, or delivered mail at some point, and the mail contractors drove wagons, and they had to drive these on beaches along the coastline. And so, yes, it was incredibly important to build a highway and allow for more efficiency. If you ever make it to the Rocky Creek Ben Jones Bridge overlook, there is a beautiful marker for him, and it has additional information. Here's the marker in question. Put Highway 101 on your bucket list. You've got to make the drive one day. And when you go, make the absolute most of it. And don't forget to thank Ben Jones, the father of Oregon's Coast Highway, Highway 101.